we start, let's all thank our wonderful sponsors for making this event a reality. So if you're sitting here, thank you for your contributions. My name is Christine Zheng. I work for Janus Henderson Investors. We are an asset management firm, so if your retirement has one of our Janus funds, thank you very much for entrusting your investments with us. Since this is a career talk session, so I listed some of my major job roles I have taken over the years. So my education background is computer science, mathematics, and economics. So before I dived into the Salesforce world, I was mainly being a programmer, developer, application integration specialist, yada, yada. All right, so our agenda today, we'll briefly talk about my early age of my career, how I became Salesforce developer in 2007. Then I ventured into business side because I really are fascinated with the asset management business. Become a tech leader a few years after, and then I just kind of ventured into management role, kind of just on its own. So I'll tell you the story about it. Finally, I became the enterprise solution architect for our distribution technology. So it's not just Salesforce. So you're talking about webs, reporting, etc. I did take a career break very briefly to rediscover myself, asking myself who I am, what job I really like to do. I came back in 2022, and if we have time, you can take a guess what job I picked in the end. Okay, early age. So I basically spent all my time learning. So all kinds of APIs, operating systems everywhere, programming languages, nothing could stop me, and middleware, databases. So after I spent like a year in mainframe, knocking out like DB2 store procedures in mainframe, like blue screen, I was like, I can learn anything. So with that mentality, 2007, my first Salesforce developer job interview literally went like this. So a manager's like, what do you know about Salesforce? I know how to spell it, that's about it. I was like, why did I say this? But in the end, I got the job. Woohoo! So later we talked about it. And she said, it's 2007, and Salesforce was really new. So she wasn't really expecting a Salesforce guru showing up in front of her door. So she was hoping if she can find somebody who knows C++, Java, or any object-oriented programming, and that person can transition into Apex. Secondly, she said, well, you're pretty blunt about not knowing anything about a job you're interviewing for, so I appreciate your honesty. Okay, so what does my Salesforce developer day look like, right? Turned out she was right. I spent a week taking an official class with Salesforce.com, which, by the way, is a very good class if you know nothing about Salesforce. Let's see, so turned out Apex wasn't really that difficult. And also, I know database design, so relational database knowledge can translate into Salesforce data modeling fairly easily, because you kind of understand many-to-many relationships already, right? So one thing I want to point out is that really boost my developer career was my past application integration skills, because I already know how to hook up application to applications using middleware, ETL, and I found in today's industry, Salesforce is rarely in a space by itself. It usually always have to integrate with other enterprise applications, databases. So if you can teach yourself, or you already know, like Informatica or REST API, web development, it really can help you to sell yourself in your Salesforce development career. But I was facing a much bigger challenge. Okay, so anybody understand this blob of text right here? That was my problem. I don't understand asset management business at all. So when my Manager took me to one of those business requirements meeting. I was like, I knew every English word, but everything just flew over my head. So let's say if you were a asset management business analyst, that's actually what I needed at that time. If you were a business analyst in asset management domain, you would look at this, say, oh, it's pretty easy, broker-dealer. That's a type of financial advisors. That's our client. So maybe a contact record with type equal to broker-dealer. Core 300, that's like top-selling financial advisors who sell most of our funds to their retail investors. So how do you find out who's the top-selling? Well, you get their transaction. Inflow is purchases, outflows are redemptions. You do the math, net flow, whoever has the highest net flow is your highest producing client. Easy peasy, couple of objects, here's your relationship, get some fields on contact records, voila, you're done. All right, okay. Whew. I want to learn about our business then, because I don't want to feel like an idiot in the meetings. So my manager actually supported me. So I spent some time learning from our business partners. And I know you don't really understand all of these jargons on the left. The point is, to be a Salesforce analyst, you do have to have very specific industry knowledge. You can't just come from a medical device selling company and say, I want to be a business analyst for Janus Henderson. It just doesn't work that way, right? So once you can translate your very specific industry knowledge, then you can bridge the gap between business and the developers. Developers' job is a little bit easier because you can be developer at hospital, at a restaurant, at asset management. But business analyst is the requirements a little bit wider. So if your team does not have dedicated the Salesforce admin, the business analyst is sometimes also the sysadmin. So it is actually a true case in Janus Henderson. So our business analyst is really taking on two sides of the job. So kudos to them. Okay, so over the time, our development team has grown to a fairly large size. So our manager gave us a challenge. It's like, I have no idea who touched this. You know, the fields data type just changed and it broke all the integrations. So who did this? Oh, we don't know. All right, well, I want you guys to come up with a DevOps process and present it to me. And nobody raised their hands because, you know, DevOps sounds very foreign to Apex coders, right? So we don't understand it. I don't want to do it. So I finally raised my hand. I was like, okay, all right, I'll try it. It's technology. How hard can it be? It turned out it was actually pretty hard. I spent a lot of time perfecting it, designing it, and then trying to teach it to the rest of the team. But I was pretty proud after it was all done. And all of these hard work did not go unnoticed, right? So the management did see that, you know, not trying to toot my own horns here, but if you're the person who's willing to step into, if you're the person who's willing to step into the unknowns, I don't know how to get back right now. You're willing to pick the skill set nobody else does have, management actually notice you and you just naturally become the leader of the pack, right? So true story, 2016, we were merging with an equal size British company called Henderson Investors. And we had to merge two really complex Salesforce environments, especially the US side is classic and the UK side is lightning. And my manager was actually ready to go into the executive committee to commit 6-month project plan, said we can deliver that in 6 months. I was like, oh my God. Do you have any idea how many functionalities we have to merge? And have we even think about data reconciliation from the two systems? I give it a year. So she actually said, well, you don't have a year, but I give you 9 months and go talk to both sides of business stakeholders, get them to agree what function they want to merge, what data they want to migrate, make it happen. You don't have 1 year. I was like, great. Did I just get myself a product owner job? I guess I did. All right, get to work. So as a Salesforce product owner, you do have to understand the strategy and the direction where you're going. So at that time, it was very clear to me, my direction is to get everybody to agree on a minimum viable product, survival product on day one. I don't want anything extra. I just want to live on day one. That's it. And then you have to apply your both sides, Salesforce knowledge and then also the BA side of the knowledge to facilitate your business stakeholders. And it was literally like ping pong exchange. Here's the US, here's the UK. I don't want to do it your way. I want this. I don't want yours. I'm like, hold on, people. We're not going to agree to anything if we don't do some compromise, right? We're not going to be 100% happy. We know that. We're going to be maybe 50% happiness. And let's just get to day one happily together as one family. So I did a lot of just hand-holdings, and it was a hard job, like people job, right? And then I have to learn the Scrum Master skill because now you're going to have to section off all the functions that you agreed to do into a sprint and making sure you make the 9-month deadline. And that was not easy. And on top of that, I don't know how I got into this people management role. I guess I said yes halfway through that I'm taking over the development team. So from a people management perspective, it's basically the same everywhere, right? If you're a people manager, you're going to have some hard talks about compensations, about hiring, firing, who am I going to promote, who I'm going to lay off. It's really tough because I was managing my friends. They were my coworkers. It kind of sucked for me. So what did I do? I went back to management again because I told them, this is what my date look like. I start 6 a.m. with London, and then 4 p.m. I'm just getting started with Australia. I can't do the shops. Help me out. So I asked, can I still be at a management level so I don't take a salary cut and not being a manager? Is there a job like that? So my manager was pretty supportive, and he was like, I will make you the enterprise solution architect since you've done it all, right? So why don't you help all of the teams to standardize all of their technologies? So if your company's culture allows, you do want to speak up your mind if you've already built trust with your management. Sometimes your career path is carved by yourself. That job, the solution architect job, was not there. It was created because I asked for it. And the management and HR worked with me. So I literally just went to the other side of my Salesforce career by literally just asking for it. So what did I get myself into as an enterprise solution architect? I was blown away by all the work I had to do. So you got the web team, the client reporting team, the analytics team, Salesforce team. They're all in their own little comfy zone and doing their own thing, their own data analysis. So I gotta bring all of them out of their comfort zone to have them to be friendly with each other and using standardized technology. You can never get away from business stakeholders once you become manager. That's just a given, right? So you gotta talk business. And then I also have to do a lot of innovation, design, a lot of delegations. It's basically, I gotta use every ounce of the skill set I accumulated in the last 20 years to fit into this big shoe here. Luckily, I already know a lot of technology, so end-to-end, ETLs, databases, AutoSys, programming, web, and even client reporting I've done a couple years. So that part was okay, but it was the soft skill that really demanded a lot of your brain power every day. So I quit because I got burned out. So I went to Europe, did some soul searching, and anybody have a guess what job I came back for? Anybody? Anybody want to take a guess? No? Well, I love crushing bugs. So I climbed down the corporate ladder, came back to be just a developer, because I thrive in the programming world. I love building code, so why not? Okay, so final thoughts. Don't limit yourself, right? Don't limit yourself to one title. You're not just a business analyst. You're not just an architect. You are everything you want to be. And if you're a developer, don't limit yourself to one language. Because technology are all interconnected. The foundation is exactly the same. So once you know a few, you can know them all. People skills is absolutely essential. I know we're like all IT people, we want to hide in our little corner, do our job, but that's not reality. We live in a society, we work in a society. And if you want to advance your career, relationship building is a must-have skill. And don't be shy away from changes. I know change is really painful, especially the layoffs, but then people go, people come, team get resolved, team get reestablished. That means opportunity. Opportunities are out there. But it's not going to fall on your lap. You have to seek them out. And this is what I learned. I was never given a job. I have to prove myself. I have to do the hard work to be qualified for like the tech lead job. I got to qualify. I got to do some hard work, something that nobody else wants to do to get to a better job. And at last, know yourself, know your happy place. And not everybody wants to climb the corporate ladder. Your happiness is actually worth more than money and a title. Because if you thrive in an area, you can really flourish. And don't try to do the uphill battle type of thing. So that being said, I last week accepted another job. So tomorrow will be my very last day of being a Salesforce engineer. So my manager and my coworkers are actually here supporting me. So I will go to investments. So finally, I'm doing something I really love to do. That means my developer job is open. My hiring manager's here. My business analyst's here. So they're sitting right here if you would like to talk about the opportunity to become a Salesforce developer at Janus Henderson. Oh, and also I put a copy of my resume out on LinkedIn so you can take a look at all the things I have done. So thank you so much for your time.